Hey everyone, welcome back to the Female Founded Series podcast. I'm your host, Yasmin Shahira. Today we have a very special guest, and it's going to be a really powerful conversation because I'm going to be seated with Sofea Mastan. She is the founder of Grow and Glow Mama. So we're going to be talking more about how she turned a simple mom chat group, right? And into a really thriving community of amazing moms and eventually into a full-blown brand that is a PR agency. So let's get into it. Hi, Sofea. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you here. So let's start from the very beginning of your journey, your founder journey. Did you always wanted to become a founder?
Not really. I'm the eldest in the family. So I've always been bossy, but I've never
It's a good thing.
Yeah. I've never wanted to be I wanted to do something, but I never wanted to let's go to entrepreneurship. I do try selling this, but it never worked. But I always love giving service.
Right.
Yeah, so I love talking to people, helping out, not really selling product because I'm not really good at sales, but I'm more to I want people to feel empowered always because I think because of my confidence issue when I was younger, I always feel like, why do people do this?
Okay.
Why do people bully this person? Or why can't you do this? Everybody, if you can, why can't I? I always have that in my mind all the time when I was younger.
It's ingrained in your mindset already.
So I'm like... and I've always been a plum kid, so I've always get bullied because of my weight. So I'm always like, but why? Plus size people also can do this and do that. I always have that in my head, but I think until I met my husband, I've never. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do something. So when you said just now, I make into a full a chat group into a community, right? It actually started with a depression.
Okay.
That's why I became, that's how the community actually grown. And when I had my postpartum depression, when I had my first baby, Mariam, I gave birth to her because when you got pregnant, right, all you think about is all these good things. You breastfeed like normal, you glow after that, you lose weight after you breastfeed, all this amazing stuff that you hear. And then you don't have all that.
Exactly.
And even though my husband's there with me, I pantang with my mom, I felt so lonely. I remember holding Mariam and I said to my husband, I don't want her.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was sitting down and it was just normal. We were just watching TV. I said, I don't want her. Then
it's a postpartum depression.
Yeah, I said, I don't want her. Then my husband's like, why? Then he cried because he really thought, what? Because he also didn't understand. We talk about mental health.
Yeah, we do.
But we can just talk, but no one actually understand it until you actually went
experience
through
it. Yeah.
So when I said that, my mom was like, why do you say that? I remember breastfeeding and pumping my breast and blood come out from my nipple. I shared it also with a lot of people. And when my mom said that, right, when I saw that, right, my mom said, don't panic, but her face was full on panic mode. So I felt like this is not what I heard being a mom with. I've always wanted to be a mom. And even when my arwah father said to me, what do you, if you were to given a chance to be a mom or work, what do you want? So I said just macam without a hesitation, a mom.
Yeah.
But when I became a mom, that's when I lost myself. This is not me. I've lost me. No more Sofea. Because I used to be working 9 to 4 o'clock. I work in media.
Yeah.
So I literally just love working. And then I became a mom. Because this is what I dream of, right? Since I was younger. Yeah. Be married, get a baby. And then it didn't happen according to plan. So when I said to my husband, I don't want the baby, it took me some time to actually, I want the baby. I remember just the baby was sleeping with my mom.
Right.
For the whole 1 month of pantang because I don't want to be with the baby.
Yeah.
Then slowly I get help and my husband also suddenly understand what it meant. You can be lonely even you're surrounded by people who loved you.
Yeah.
Then because of that, I started talking about how important it is. Postpartum depression is actually important. We all are somebody. I even met a mom who's an engineer, who's a famous an architect, but they all didn't become who they are because they are a mom. Yeah. And they all stop. Okay, I cannot be this or I cannot be that because now I'm a mom. I have to take care. But I I'm working and I'm also a mom. So when I first started this journey was because of Hagen, the bottle.
Yep.
So the person that brought the Hagen here was a family friend.
Okay.
And she's a pharmacist. So I remember when I had the problem, breastfeeding and everything like that. And when I breastfeed and give milk to my baby, it was also like Mariam had colic, like terrible colic. So when your baby had colic, I think they don't sleep.
No, it's really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. So when I went to this pharmacy and then my mom's, then there's a bottle, it's Hagen bottle. So they were like, oh, why don't you try? I said, oh, I don't want it. It's so expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
No, honestly, baby stuff is expensive.
Yes, it's so expensive. Like, I don't want to get the bottle. We can just get a normal bottle. I said to my mom. I said, it's okay, I'll buy for you. So my mom bought one bottle and it actually made my baby sleep. So when she fell asleep and I tried it, I just used it. Okay, it's okay lah. We'll just spend for this bottle so I can get sleep. That's how my mindset think. I didn't think, oh, so then my baby can sleep. So I can sleep. So I'll just buy this for me. So I did it. And then 1 month after, they came to my house to like, okay, it's a journey. Like you use Hagen. You're the first few in Malaysia that used it.
This is when they first launched it.
They were not. They just started in Malaysia.
Okay.
So
They're a Singaporean brand.
Yes. Then they wanted to launch it in Malaysia. So they came to me and they were like, oh, we want to record your baby, blah, blah, blah. Then, oh, we're having trouble to actually invite people to come to our first event because nobody knew Hagen then. And then everybody just knew at that time other baby bottles. So we were like, oh, I can help you. I know a few media friends because I work in media before. So I'm just going to call them because I love Hagen and everything like that. So I did. After that, they came to me and they say, Sofea, do you want a job? So I'm just like, oh, but I'm a mom now. So
This was... How many months was your baby back then?
6 months.
6 months, okay.
Yeah, so I was already lost for 6 months. I was struggling with postpartum. I remember my husband said, okay, I'm going to go to the store. And that time we don't have a helper yet. So I'm just going to leave you with the baby. I'm like, you're going to leave me with the baby? I don't know what to do with the baby. like people always say, oh, first time mom,
you will figure it out.
Yeah, no,
right?
and you have that instinct.
Yes.
I do not have that instinct.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And like I feel like the expectations of like other people, like when you just become a mom, it's like you need to like know it all already.
Yes.
And like even though you don't know, you will
Correct.
figure it out. But yes, of course you will. But at the same time, it's like the pressure that they put on you, it's too much.
Yeah.
In terms of like
The expectation is so high.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so high. And even when, like when we first give birth and we see our baby, everybody always say that they have instant connection. I do not have that. So I always say it out loud because some mom might not have it too.
Yep.
And some might. So it depends on human being.
Agree.
But for me, when I saw the baby, I remember because she comes out from my tummy, right? So she has all these icky gooey things. So they were just telling me, oh, kiss your baby. I'm like, no. So I'm like, but I felt bad because mindset wise, we were taught like, oh, we're gonna have instant connection. I don't have all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I always thought it was something wrong with me. Then when I started talking to more moms and then obviously doing this Hagen thing, and because I work with more moms, right? Then I realized, oh, everybody actually sometimes have struggle, but they don't say it out loud.
So at this moment, have you created the community
No.
yet, or what was it like back then?
I was just alone, so I
Okay.
started with just Hagen. So
Okay.
when they hired me, oh, you can do part time. You can bring your baby to the office. They're very friendly. So whenever we have meetings, so okay, let's just start working. After 6 months of not doing anything, then I did, and I meet with a lot of influencer mom, and they all like share with me all this experience. So then I remember this one event. Then they were like, oh, I wanted to start this community. Maybe I should start a WhatsApp group so I can connect more people, and I did.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Was it a sudden like intention? Like what was that like idea spark suddenly, like, you know what, I think I need like to create a group chat? What was it like?
Actually, I met a friend of mine, Danielle Chong. I don't know if you know her. She also had her
I
own
do know
community.
her.
Yeah. Her community group called Super Mommy Club.
Okay.
And when me and her met, and we were like, oh, at that time I already had I think, my second born. So actually I had this in mind, but I never actually did the community group. So when I met her, she's like, I want to do a community, she said, but for newborns. Then I said, oh, but I'm also struggling with my toddler.
Yeah.
So why don't we, let's do a community. Like, let's have a WhatsApp group. So she did a WhatsApp group for Super Mommy, and I did one for Grow and Glow Mama. And we started just talking there first.
Okay.
And I remember there was this one mom, she just followed because we post on social media, and then she malam-malam at 11 p.m. she started complaining, saying she's having depression. Her husband is also going through depression, and she's living in her in-laws' house, and she's struggling, like she doesn't know what to do. And there was all this mom in this WhatsApp group, and like telling her that, oh, I've gone through this too. This is what I did. And this is what I did. Maybe you should try. So I invited her to one of my events, and she came to me. I did this event, and she came to me and she said to me, thank you so much for doing this, because I don't know who I can talk to, even though I have friends. So that's when I feel like, okay, this community is going to be powerful, because even if I could help this one person get out of the house for this small event, then that helps in her mental health a little bit, because I'm not a psychologist, or I can't I can advise her this and that, but I can help her for being there. So then there was a lot of mom that was there for her. So then there was a psychologist there too, who's a mom who could help and connect.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So it started as a simple group chat,
Yeah.
and then it became like kind of like a support group chat.
Yeah.
And now, today, I noticed that Grow and Glow Mama has like grown hundreds and hundreds of community members. And I can see that it has started a movement basically, right? Grow and Glow Mama, and a brand. So at what point did you see that, hey, this is actually a brand?
I think when people start telling me, how about do events? How about collaborate with this? Or a brand actually came to me. It's a wellness brand. So they came to me and say, Sofea, let's collab. So that's when I know, this is something, like it's not just, it started off with a passion, but I can grow bigger and I can collaborate with more brands.
Yeah. And I notice a lot of founders always start their brand or their business in a way that like relates to their personal story. And I think you are spot on like actually studying the brand based on your own experience and your journey as a mom, and actually helping others who are going through the same thing as you do, which is amazing. And let's dive deep into community building, because I really want to touch base on this. You are such a great community builder. And we want to know, especially for female founders who are watching this, who really want to build a strong community for their brand. So for you, what does community building look like behind the scenes? And really, like, do you have like a structure behind building a strong community like Grow and Glow Mama? And maybe like a process that leads you as well as a founder?
I think when I first started the community, it because of passion. I think you need to have that in order for you to build a community.
Passion keeps you going.
Yeah. And also where your heart is. If you were to build a community because of money, then it wouldn't be that big of a community. This is what I see in because a lot of brands come to me too how do you build a community? Let's do this event, and like maybe it could be a starting point for me to build my community. But I've seen a lot. There's some that is successful, and there's some, I would say it's niyat. Like, where is it going? Like, what do you want actually?
What is your intention behind it, right?
So if you have the intention to do a community because you want to help, because I think community building is not profit making.
Yeah.
It's just to basically to connect with one another. And if it grows and you want to make it like a brand, like, a transaction later on, that's another story. But I think a good brand for this is Pixie Beauty.
Okay. Yeah.
They do a lot of community building, and until today, it's their HQ that will come everywhere around the world to meet with the customers.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when they invite me to the event, I feel like it's just God sent, because I basically I was invited by the head of marketing. Her name is Colleen. We still follow each other on Instagram. They even like sometimes reply on my DMs, like on my
So
live.
they really don't have that kind of like a barrier
Yeah.
between the people that they connect to or sell to, right? The
Yes,
customers, basically.
they will come by them. Like from US, they come to Malaysia when we have event and connect with each and everyone, and they will know the stories and that you told them last time. So I think community is like that.
Okay.
I think that's how I grew also, in that sense that, oh yeah, I remember, because when people tell stories, it's that human connection. I think community, you need to have that. You can't just, oh, okay, then the next day you forget.
Right.
You start building a relation, like friendship with these people, your community.
Like a really strong friendship.
Yeah.
And I would say that's like one of the best strategies is to really just learn about your customers in
Yeah.
a way that they feel understood.
Yeah.
And their story, each and every one of their story.
Yes. I mean, I know it takes a lot of work.
Yep.
But especially if you have a team, you do need to hire the right people, and also these people will also have that same intention. Yeah, I love, when they say, oh, communicate or make friends, but what is your intention?
Right.
Right? Like,
Yep.
if you want to, like you and I, we connected because, oh, we're both moms.
Yep.
And oh, we love playing pickle, or we connect each other and we make each other feel comfortable with it. I think one of the reasons why I wanted this also is to have that everybody is comfortable with one another.
So with that process of getting the right people in the community, right? Because not everyone is meant to be in the community.
Yeah.
Not everyone wants to be, right? But you have to get the right people.
Yeah.
So in terms of attracting the right audience, or the community members going in your community, how is there a way for you to do it? Because you wanna attract the right ones,
Yeah.
not just everyone, right?
I think it's more of, that's why I like to do the physical events.
Right.
That's when I get to know them. So sometimes they bring a +1, or I encourage them to bring a +1. Then we'll start talking and I understand better. And then when they or join the community, which is the WhatsApp group right now, that's when we know. But some, I do kick off some.
Yeah,
That is
because the community is like a safe space
Yes.
that you've created and built over the years.
And of course, we have those people that will judge,
Right.
or talk. Oh, you cannot do this and
So
that.
what do you do with that? How do you
So I'll
really take care of your community
So
in that sense?
I always look at the WhatsApp group always, and then when they actually say all these things, then I'll give a warning. But if they continue doing it, then I'll just kick them out. And
Right.
of course, you have all these bad stories about, oh, Grow and Glow Mama is not supporting, but I need to take care of the mental health of people around there.
Yeah.
Because some of them even talk about problem with house rent.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with their kids, but Grow and Glow Mama is for that. We
Yes.
don't talk about just our children. I always say that when I first started Grow and Glow Mama, it's not about our kids, it's about us. Because just like when I bought that Higem bottle, it's not for my daughter, it's for me.
I totally agree with you, because a lot of people always think about, okay, kids comes first.
Yeah.
But you need to think about yourself too. How are you going to give the best energy, the best effort, just the best of you to your children if you yourself is not feeling that great?
Correct.
Because you want to give the best to your kids. So you
Yeah.
yourself have to show up at your best self,
Yes.
right? And there are ways, and I totally agree with you. It's not just about for the kids, it's for yourself, because at the end of the day, it's also for the kids,
Yeah.
right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's it's a huge connection right there.
Yeah, I think we tend to forget about ourselves. Anyway, we are always selfless, moms especially. And we always want to think about other people, like our husbands and our kid or our mom.
We have a lot of
Right,
responsibilities.
but we don't think about us. Some of other moms doesn't even in the community doesn't even think about themselves.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's this community. It's to remind mothers that they're human before their kids or before marrying somebody. It's before we get married, we're always like, oh, the only thing that we think about is us.
Yeah.
Oh, when do we do mani-pedi? Or when do we do this? Let's go to Sephora, for example.
Yeah.
And then when we get married, like you just said just now before, oh, we go happy keto now.
We don't go anywhere
Yeah,
else.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so going back to community building, right? I'm sure it relates a lot with building your business as well.
Yeah.
I think your community is probably the the backbone of your brand and your business, right?
Yeah.
I want to ask you, with everything that you've built and helped other brands build as well, why do you think it's so important for every single brand out there to really build a raving community, like a really strong community like yours? Why is it so important?
Because then we have loyalty. Because I think a lot of brands nowadays, they build a brand, and after, you'll be talk of the town for a few months, and then suddenly it'll die down because there was no human touch. Especially after COVID, I think we see a lot of brands starting to do community, like community walk, community this.
Agree.
Because during COVID, we don't talk to anyone except for Zoom and online and all these things.
It's different, right?
Yes. So with the community building, right, it's nice to have that human touch, because then people will keep remembering you, like loyalty. I think it's more of like the human touch,
Yeah.
instead of just buy my stuff and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's why with Grow and Glow, we're not making money, because basically it's just like community, people talk to each other. But how do I make it like sustainable? It's
Yeah.
basically the loyalty that we have from these people. I still have people who followed me, started following me, still coming to me, say, "Oh, Sofea, do you have any events? Because I want to join." Because maybe they'll disappear for a while, but they come back again, because they will always remember, Grow and Glow Mama was there during their hardest time. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that. Now, you mentioned that, with your community now, you are not making money directly with the Grow and Glow Mama community, right? And literally, so it's really like a high engagement community, but with no paywall, which means that you don't really have anything to monetize for your community. But you, as the founder, like you mentioned, how do I make it sustainable and grow?
Yeah.
Right? So for you, with the free access platform that you have right now, which is the group chat, how do you sustain it in a way that, like, because to sustain a brand, you do need resources around you, right?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
So I work with a lot of brands. So that's when my PR angle come in. And I work with brands. And for example, if like Higan or Spring Health, or I even worked with Gigi before too.
Yeah.
Because Gigi had a brush with Gigi does Mother's Day. So
Asma,
Mother's Day
yeah.
is the busiest month of Grow and Glow Mama, because a lot of like brands sometimes want to collaborate with us. So that's how I make money. Basically, we collaborate, or they pay to basically tap into our group, to our community.
So like the PR agency, right?
Yeah.
Which is the Grow and Glow
PR.
group.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
you call that as the PR agency. So it's a connection right there, but at the same time, it's a whole different angle of monetization.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now let's talk about that PR agency that you have right there, Grow and Glow Group. Now, your PR agency actually helps brands build a deeper connection.
Yes.
And Hagen was like the first brand
ever.
that you've ever collaborated with. How did you actually really evolve, like, to really build the PR agency with all the past work that you've done?
I think because Hagen did it differently.
Okay.
So what I love about Amy, which is the person that brought Hagen to Malaysia, she's not the founder, but she brought Hagen from Singapore to Malaysia. She told me that whenever we want to work, like we want to talk, like even Hagen, right, when we give away the brand to influencer or celebrity, we don't want them to advertise.
Yeah.
We want them to actually love the brand. So it started off like that.
Okay.
Then I see it. Because when we first started Higan, nobody wants... I remember sliding into DMs and people rejecting me. So, no, I'm using this bottle. And I remember 6 months of consistency. This is when the person that rejected us came to us and said, "Oh, do you want to collaborate?" Because we don't push her. We give her the product. We ask her to try. If she loves it, she comes back.
Yeah.
So that was the first few stages of how Higan grew and how I learned, like, oh... this is how brand could actually work in the long term. And fast forward to 7 years now, Higan in Malaysia, you can see it everywhere.
Yeah.
So everybody's using Higan.
I'm
Whether
using
it's M40, B40,
Yeah.
T20, I'll see it everywhere. I mean, of course, not most people, but I always see it on tables.
Yeah.
Oh, this Higan. And I remember yesterday somebody was carrying a box to help to put in my house, and this guy was like, oh, I use this for saya pakai ni untuk anak saya, and I'm like, oh, okay, like it's so
Everyone's using it.
yes, everybody's using it. So I think it was started off with Amy, because Amy kind of like my mentor. She teaches me a lot, and she will always tell me that we don't want to push them. Then I also feel like, I don't like to be pushed.
Yeah.
I don't like to be forced to do this.
Yeah.
It's just like influencer, like whenever influencer do brands, we will know, the audience will know if it's like genuine or if it's an advertisement.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And when it comes to your PR agency, I am sure that you don't work with all the brands that ever exist. You actually really, really hand select the brands that you want to represent as a PR agency, right?
Yeah.
So share with me that process.
Okay.
Is there like a criteria on like
Yes.
how do I work with Glow and Grow group?
Yes, I do. I actually, whenever I had working with people, then I will have a meeting. The first off meeting is when they give me the product. So I'll try the product first. If I like it and I could relate to it, then let's have a second meeting.
Yeah.
Because to me, if I can't love the brand, then I don't know how to tell a story. And as a PR person, I feel like, I would say like I'm more of like community builder, a connection builder instead of a PR, because PR is like, it's big.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. So I feel like I need to be able to relate to this product. Then only I could like tell my friends, this is just how I'm passionate about Higan. And that's how it sold out. That's why people always say, oh, I know you did it for Higan. Can you do it for me?
Yeah.
Then I need to understand your brand first. I did it
Yes.
very well for Higan because I love it.
Yeah.
Because
the product is great.
Yeah, the product is great. The branding is there. Because people often come to me and they don't have branding.
Right.
So I don't do that. I don't do branding because branding is another
It's a whole
wing.
other thing, yeah.
So I say, but Higan has their branding already. All I have to do is just tell people and give awareness about this product.
Yeah, so because that's the business that's the
Yes.
business job, right?
Yeah.
So would you say that you have to have a great product in order to like get in
Yes.
or work with you, and you have to have a branding that is just like kind of like, I wouldn't say established, but you have the branding down, like you have the messaging down.
Yes.
You know who your target market is.
Yes.
So those are the main criteria that like you have to know before you actually
Correct.
apply to work
Unless
with you.
there is some also that come to me and like, I have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
So when they come, yes, I do like, advise this and that, but they do need to hire the right people as well to build up their brand.
Yeah.
But I can say, you need to have this first in order for you to have awareness, because some brands sometimes come to me and I want to do this, but basically the foundation is not there yet.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to do PR whenever you don't have that foundation.
You have to have the foundation down.
So once you have that foundation, okay, Sofea, I want to do the awareness.
So would you say that like especially those who just started a business, it's best to just like do everything yourself first, get it figured out before you actually invest
Yes.
in like PR services like yourself?
Correct.
Right.
Or some people come to me because they want me to connect them with
Right.
these people. Because obviously working in this industry for like 7-8 years, I do know the right people, especially the mom and baby. Because not the right branding agency, right? You need to find the right branding agency
Yes.
too. So, maybe connect them with them. Then, okay, you can do PR after, a few months.
What do you think is the step that people can come in like, you know what, I think I need to work with a PR agency to really grow my brand? At what stage do you think that should like happen?
I think it's when you already have everything established and then nobody hear about you yet. So there is some brands that has been in the industry for 2-3 years or 5 years, and they come to me, okay, so we're lack of community or we're lack of people talking about us. Yes, people buying, the sales is there, but there's no human touch. There's one brand that came to me like a few months ago and said, I want to have community. So it's a lot of brands who actually establish also and probably sales, or you've seen it everywhere, they still come. And like sometimes I always wonder and ask my husband, I don't understand why people come to me. They're so big. So
Yeah.
why are they here to come? Then I realize, not everybody has that touch.
Yes.
Not everybody can create a community, especially if you are like a big brand or a big a name that is so big already in the industry or in the
Yep.
mom and baby industry.
Let's talk about balancing building your brand
Yeah.
and having kids.
Oh my God. Still juggling.
I love that. Now, I know like being a mom and a founder isn't easy because putting on your founder's hat is like there's a lot more work.
Yeah.
And then a mother's hat is there's a lot more work, right?
Yeah.
And from my own experience as a mom now, I feel that mindset plays such a huge role when it comes to balancing between both.
Yeah.
Now, for you, Sofea, what do you think is kind of like the biggest mindset shift you've had to make in order to actually grow as the founder? Like going back to what you mentioned about going through postpartum depression, it was challenging. And now, as a founder, what was that mindset shift that you kind of like click for you to do and grow your brand right now?
I think it's the mom guilt.
Right.
I think I need to switch that off. I know it's easier said than done because even until today I have mom guilt. Because after the postpartum depression and I was okay and I'm recovering and everything like that, then I had that mom guilt. Now I don't want to, I'm so scared to leave them now. Like it's so confusing being a mom. So but every time I feel guilty, like I don't spend time with them. Because as an entrepreneur, you need to sometimes at 10 o'clock also your eyes, you can't switch off your brain. So with you need to make sure that we need to know when to switch off your brain. You need to know when to say no. You need to know, okay, one thing that my mom always said, work will always be there.
It will.
So you can afford to stop because I've gone through burnout last year because I'm so excited. It was like the first time the community has grown so big, brands keep on coming. And because of that, I didn't stop.
Yeah.
Even until like 10, 12 a.m. Then in the morning, I have to send the kids to school. There was time I didn't even send Mariam to school for 1 week. I felt so guilty because, I need to do this, this kind of, the job. The job has to be done. But then I realized that it's not worth it to have that burnout. So the mindset there is to know when to switch on and off.
Right.
And if you have that, you have that key to switch on and off. I think to be a founder, there will always be ups and downs. There will always be chaos.
There's always going to be problems.
There is always going to be a problem. But nowadays, I'm more calm when I have problem. Yeah. If there's because my work is in PR, right? So there's always bad things happening or blah, blah, blah. So I need to know when to, I need to calm down. I cannot like, oh my God, my life is like, this and that. Because sometimes when work merge with being a mom, sometimes the emotion that you feel so stressed at work, right? It goes to your kid.
It does.
And you scream to them even though they did something like, a little like spill water. Usually you don't get mad, but because you're in so much stress, you scolded them. So that's when I know now, especially this year, how to like, okay, work is work. I need to switch it off when I'm with them.
Really like not spreading yourself too thin, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about support. I'm sure you have like a support system down already, whether it's personal support or professional support. For you as a mom and a founder at the same time, what have been kind of crucial for you in terms of the support system that you have right now?
I think my husband's support is everything. I think him telling me, because I'm such a people pleaser, so I always want to please everybody. So he always tell me, I don't really believe in horoscope, but he's a Gemini. So he can like, no, that's not, you shouldn't be with this, or you should be careful, this and that. So he's the biggest support system, I feel like. I feel like he's always telling me, you shouldn't think too much, shouldn't this and that. And that helps me in my founder's journey because as a people pleaser, when you people please too much, this will disrupt your business and disrupt you as being a mom. So he is the biggest support system from the start. And because of him also, I started growing Glow. He is the one who tell me, you should speak out about your depression journey. You should speak out about the ugly thing. Because growing up, I always have to like, if it's a bad thing, you shouldn't say it out loud. But I see a lot of good things whenever you say it out loud, because then you help a lot of other people. So that's, I think my biggest support system is him now, even though I fight a lot with him because of the business.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So like for founders and creators who are actually listening right now and they are thinking like, okay, I want to build a brand that align with my values that I have, where should they begin? Like the first step 0 right now?
I think it's more of like know what they want. Like, okay, if they want to create a mom community, then they start a mom community, know their audience, know who to connect with. I think with me, it started off with brands. So I connect with brands, that's right. And then from that brand, and that's when I grew my community. Right. And also, I think if you have a good support system, plus professionally, like for me, I have a mentor, like which is Amy is such a big I think a big presence in my life, because if it's not because of her that pushes me to do what I do or give me the opportunity, then I wouldn't. So I think if you have a mentor that how do you want to start, or you don't know where to start zero. So maybe talk to your mentor about it, because then that person would know best about what you want. Yep. You basically need to know what you want to do first and what audience that you want to target. I think that's the most important thing to start a community.
I love that. Now, what's next for you? I really want to know for both Grow and Glow Mama.
Yes.
And Grow and Glow Group. Both of it. I want to know both.
Okay. So I think Grow and Glow Mama, I was inspired by you because we had that conversation.
Okay, yeah, we did. We had a deep conversation about this. Yes. And I think we still need to continue.
Yes. I think I want to monetize the community, but in a way that is fair for both, which for me and also for my community. And for Grow and Glow Mama Group is more of how Grow and Glow Mama is going to grow. That's how Grow and Glow Group is going to grow. Because Grow and Glow Group is very straightforward. It's basically a service. If people want to build a community, people want to have, they want to do PR, then they can come to Grow and Glow Group, Grow and Glow Mama Group. And then if they want to, basically the crucial part now, the thing that I'm building now is Grow and Glow Mama, which is what I want to monetize. And I have been working on it.
Yes.
I love that conversation that we had because it inspired me a lot, because I've always been lost about, okay, how do I monetize it without having to depend so much on Grow and Glow Group?
Agree.
Yeah.
Because I feel now that like you kind of have that B2B down in terms of the offer. You do need a way that like, okay, how do I do it in a way that B2C that feels very fair? And at the same time, I can give as much value as I can because I have the enough resources or sufficient resources to do so.
Yeah.
Right? I love that. Now, to anyone's listening right now, the founders who are listening, any last words for those who want to start a business, want to start a brand just like you?
I think it's more of find your people. I think the biggest blessing I've had is finding my people. So if you find the right people, right, you could grow beautifully. And of course, the journey is going to be so hard. It's ups and downs. There's a lot of crying, screaming.
I love that.
Yeah,
is
crying,
it
true? Crying, screaming, also happiness at the same time. But I learn a lot. I meet a lot of amazing people. So I think if you guys are struggling or you are starting, when you're starting, the canvas is white, so you don't know, like how to start. But if you're in the middle, then you probably have your ups and downs already. But there's always light at the end of the tunnel, and I believe that because I learned a lot just by having this community for about 2 years. Yeah.
Agree. I love that. Thank you so much, Sofea.
Thank you so much for having me. I love this conversation.
We'll definitely have you again once,
God.
You have launched your Grow and Glow Mama, because I know that a lot of people would love to be part of it as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. So if there's one thing that we can take away from here, that is community is not just a buzzword. It is the business foundation of your brand. So yeah, community, when it's done right, you will see the results for it. So if today's episode resonates with you, please share with anyone that knows that they would really get inspired with this episode, all right? So I'm Yasmin Shahira, your host. Until next episode, I'll see you then.